Mr. Shankar Jha, who will be leading today's session and sharing his expertise on AI risk management and governance. With that, I hand over the session to Mr. Shankar Jha. Over to you, sir. Sir, can you just take up?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Nidhi, for the kind introduction. And thank you to everyone for joining today's session. I'm just sharing my screen. Just wait. Today, we will discuss an important and practical topic: how organization can adopt artificial intelligence securely, responsibly, and in a trustworthy manner. AI is no longer a future technology. It is already being used across business operations, customer service, cybersecurity, finance, decision making, automation, and many other critical functions. While AI brings significant benefits such as speed, efficiency, innovation, and better decision making, it also introduces new risks related to cybersecurity, privacy, accountability, regulatory compliance, and governance. That is why AI risk management and AI governance have become critical priorities for every organization. With that context, let's begin. Before we move ahead, let me briefly take you through the key areas we will cover in today's webinar and the main takeaways you can expect from this session. By the end of this today's session, you should have a clear understanding of 5 key areas. First, we will understand the current AI risk landscape and why governance has become so important. AI is powerful, but it is not magic. It is not risk-free. If not managed properly, it can introduce business, security, privacy, ethical, and compliance risk. Second, we will look at how the NIST AI risk management framework provides a structured and flexible approach to identifying, assessing, managing, and monitoring AI-related risk. Third, we will explore how ISO 42001 supports responsible AI adoption through a formal and certifiable AI management system. Fourth, we will discuss practical approaches for AI risk assessment and mitigation, so these concepts can be applied in real organizational environments. And fifth, we will focus on the larger goal, which means we will see how we can enable responsible AI adoption. The objective is not to stop AI innovation, but to ensure that AI is adopted wisely, securely, and with proper governance. Throughout this webinar, we will keep coming back to 3 important words: secure, responsible, trustworthy. These 3 words will guide our discussion as we understand AI risk governance framework and practical implementation step by step. So with that, let us begin. Now, the natural question is, why does AI risk management matter so much? Let me share a few data points that make this very clear. Recent industry findings show that 86% of business leaders with cybersecurity responsibilities have already experienced at least one AI-related incident. That means AI risk is not something we are expecting in the future. It is already happening today inside real organizations across real business environment. Another important point is regulatory attention. Around 73% of organizations reported that their AI models are already subject to some level of regulatory oversight. In addition, 84% of leaders believe that independent AI model audits may become mandatory within the next 1 to 4 years. So that direction is very much clear. AI governance is moving from a good practice to an expected business requirement. The impact of unmanaged AI risk can be seen across four major areas. First is reputational risk. If an AI system produces biased, unsafe, or incorrect outcome, it can quickly damage public trust. And once trust is lost, it is very difficult to rebuild. Second is regulatory pressure. With regulations such as the EU AI Act, GDPR, and other emerging global requirements, organizations are expected to demonstrate proper controls, accountability, transparency, and risk management around AI systems. Third is business continuity. AI failure can disrupt operations, impact customer service, create legal exposure, and lead to financial loss. So AI risk is not only a technology issue, it can directly affect business operations also. Fourth is stakeholder trust. Customers, investors, regulators, employees, and business partners are increasingly asking how AI is being used, whether it is ethical, whether it is secure, whether the organization can explain its decision or not. So the key message is very simple. AI risk management is not just a compliance activity, it is a business imperative. Organizations that manage AI responsibly will be better positioned to innovate, build trust, meet regulatory expectations, and reduce operational risk. Now let us look at the actual risk that organizations need to manage when they adopt AI. AI risk is not limited to one area. It cuts across technology, security, privacy, compliance, business operations, and even reputation. So organizations need to understand these risks clearly and address them proactively. The very first risk area is bias and fairness. AI model learn from data. If the data is incomplete or not properly validated, the AI system may produce unfair or discriminatory outcomes. This can affect customers, employees, or other individuals, sometimes without the organization realizing it immediately. The second area is privacy risk. AI system may process large volumes of data, and sometimes that data may include personally identifiable information, that is PII information. There is also a risk that AI outputs may accidentally reveal sensitive information or allow individuals to be identified from data that was expected to remain anonymous. The third area is security risk. AI introduces new type of cyber risk. These include prompt injection, adversarial input, data poisoning, model manipulation, and unauthorized extraction of sensitive information. These are not theoretical risks, they are becoming practical attack scenarios for organizations using AI. The fourth area is accountability. This is a very important question when an AI system makes a wrong or harmful decision. Who is responsible? Is it the business owner, the developer, the vendor, the data team, or the organization? Without clear ownership, proper audit trails, accountability, and explainability, it is very difficult to establish the connection between them. The fifth area is legal and compliance risk. Organizations may face regulatory violations, intellectual property concerns, contractual issues, or liabilities related to automated decisions. As AI regulations evolve, organizations will be expected to demonstrate that they have proper governance and controls in place. And the sixth area, the vital one, is business risk. If an AI system fails, it gives incorrect recommendations, disrupts operations, or damages customer trust. The business impact can be significant. This can lead to operational disruption, reputational damage, financial loss, and loss of stakeholders' confidence. So the key point is this: AI risk is not a single technical issue. It is a multi-dimensional business risk. And because of that, it cannot be managed casually. It requires a structured, systematic, and well-governed approach. Now let us move to the first major framework we will discuss today, that is NIST AI RMF 1.0, which is also known as Artificial Intelligence Risk Management Framework. This framework was published by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, in January 2023. In simple terms, it is a voluntary and flexible framework that helps organizations manage risk which is related to AI systems. The important point here is that it is not a rigid checklist. It does not say that every organization must follow the same process in the same way. Instead, it allows organizations to adapt the framework which is based on their size, industry, business model, AI maturity, and risk profile. For example, a startup using one AI-enabled solution may apply it differently from a large bank, healthcare organization, or enterprise using AI across multiple business functions. But the objective remains the same: to manage AI risk in a structured and responsible manner. Another important aspect is that this framework was developed through a multi-stakeholder process. That means inputs were taken from different groups, including industry, government, civil society, and technical experts. So this makes the framework practical and broadly applicable. Now let us understand the core of the NIST AI risk management framework. The framework is built around four important functions. First is govern, second is map, third is measure, and the fourth one is the manage. You can think of these as the four pillars of AI risk management. One important point to remember is that these functions are not strictly step by step. In real organizations, they work together continuously. As AI systems change, business process change, and new risks emerge. Organizations need to keep revisiting these functions. Let us go through each one briefly. First is govern. That is the foundation of AI risk management. It focuses on how the organization sets direction, define responsibilities, and create accountability for AI users. In simple terms, govern answers questions like who owns AI risk, what policies are in place, what level of risk is acceptable. Second is map. Map is about understanding the AI system in its actual business context. Before we can manage AI risk, we must understand what is the AI system, what is being used, what data it depends on, who it affects, and what could go wrong. For example, is the AI system making recommendations, supporting decisions, classifying customers, detecting fraud, or generating content? The risk will depend heavily on the purpose and impact of the system. Is measured. Once risks are identified, they need to be assessed and prioritized. Measure focuses on testing, evaluating, and analyzing AI risk using both quantitative method and qualitative method. This may include model testing, performance review, price assessment, security testing, privacy assessment, accuracy metrics, and risk indicators. The objective is to understand how serious the risks are and which one require immediate attention. Fourth is manage. Manage is about taking action. Once risks are understood and prioritized, the organization must decide how to treat them. They include mitigation plans, stronger controls, human oversight, incident response, continuous monitoring, vendor review, or accepting certain residual risk with proper approval. It also means monitoring AI system over time because AI risk is not a one-time assessment. model, data, users, and business environment can change. So these four functions govern, map, measure, and manage, provide a practical and adaptable way to manage AI risk. They help organizations move from informal AI uses to a structured, responsible, and controlled AI governance approach. Yet, now let us move to the second major framework for today, that is ISO 42001. It's a very important standard because it is the world's first international standard for artificial intelligence management system, also known as AIMS. In simple terms, ISO 42001 helps organizations build a formal management system for governing AI responsibly. It provides a structured approach for establishing, implementing, maintaining, and continuously improving how AI is managed within an organization. Where NIST AI RMF gives us a flexible risk management framework, ISO 42000 gives us a management system approach. That means it focuses on governance, accountability, documentation, controls, and compliance. Another difference is structure. NIST AI RMF is built across four core functions: govern, map, measure, and manage. ISO 42000 follows the ISO management system, a structure covering areas such as organizational context, leadership, planning, support, operation, performance, and continual improvement. This is also a difference in certification. There is no formal third-party certification for NIST AI RMF. Organization can use it internally as a strong risk management framework. ISO 42001, however, is certifiable. That means an organization can demonstrate to customers, regulators, investors, and business partners that it has implemented a formal AI management system. So when should an organization use which one? Use NIST AI RMF when you want to build a practical, risk-based AI governance program internally. Use ISO 42001 when you want to formalize your AI governance approach and demonstrate compliance, maturity, and stakeholder trust externally. In real-world implementation, many organizations can use both together. Now, having a framework is important, but AI governance cannot remain only as a document or policy. For governance to work in real life, we need the right people, roles, responsibilities, and accountability structure. A good AI governance model usually works across three levels. The first level is the strategic tier. This includes the board and executive leadership. At this level, the organization defines its overall direction for AI. The second level is the tactical level. This usually includes the AI risk committee, the chief AI officer, the CISO, compliance leaders, legal teams, privacy teams, and risk management functions. They review AI policies, approve high-risk AI use case, monitor risks, report, handle escalations, and ensure alignment with the regulatory and compliance requirements. In simple terms, this architecture is basically act as a bridge between executive leadership and the team implementing AI on the ground. The third level is the operational level. This is where the actual work happens. It includes AI product team, data science teams, security teams, data governance team, privacy team, internal auditors, ethics, and review boards. The AI product teams are responsible for model development, testing, validation, documentation, and impact assessment. Data governance team manage data quality, data lineage, privacy, consent, retention, and access control. AI auditors or ethics review teams provide independent review by checking areas like fairness, transparency, control effectiveness. For AI governance to succeed, all three levels must work together. Leadership team must set the direction. The governance and risk team must translate that direction into policies and controls. And the operational team must implement those controls in day-to-day AI development. Clear, effective AI governance requires clear ownership, defined accountability, and continuous communication across all three levels. Now let us make this practical, a common question. How do we actually perform an AI risk assessment? It is good to understand frameworks, but organizations also need a clear method to apply them in real situation. Here is a simple 6-step approach that aligns well with the NIST AI risk management framework. Step 1 is scope and context. Before assessing risk, we need to clearly understand the AI system. The purpose of the AI system, where it is being used, who are the users and stakeholders, what type of decisions or recommendations does it support. These all things we have to mention. We need to know what we have before we can protect it or assess its risk. There is one simple phrase I would like everyone to remember: garbage in, garbage out. This means that if the data going into an AI system is poor, incomplete, unbiased, outdated, or inaccurate, then the output of the AI system will also be unreliable. No matter how advanced the AI model is, its quality depends heavily on the quantity of the data, quality of the data behind it. That is why data governance is the foundation of trustworthy AI. Let us understand why this matters. Poor data can lead to biased result, incorrect predictions, and unfair outcomes. Regulatory framework such as GDPR and India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act, that is DPDP Act, require organizations to maintain accountability around personal data, data processing, consent, and data handling practices. AI pipelines may also create serious privacy and security risk. If sensitive data is not protected properly, a breach can lead to legal, financial, and reputational consequences. And when we talk about AI, the organization should be able to trace where the data came from, how it was processed, and how it influenced the AI. Useful standard and reference in this area include ISO 38501, data governance, and NIST SP 800 for data-centric security consideration. Now, from an AI governance perspective, there are 4 important pillars of data governance. The first pillar is data quality. That means ensuring that data is accurate, complete, consistent, relevant, and updated. Poor quality data will directly impact the quality of AI decisions. The second pillar is data lineage. It means tracking the journey of data from its source to its final one. Organizations should know where the data came from, how it was transformed, who accessed it, and how it was used by the AI system. The third pillar is data privacy. This includes proper handling of personal identifiable information, consent management, data minimization, masking, and retention controls. The fourth pillar is access control. Only authorized users should be able to access sensitive data. This requires role-based access control, need to know access, segregation of duties, and a strong audit logging. So the key message is very much clear. If the data foundation is weak, the AI system cannot be trusted. For organizations focus on advanced AI model, they must first ensure that their data is accurate, protected, and properly governed. Now, data governance is very important, but it is only one part of AI governance. We also need to govern the AI models themselves. An AI model should not be treated as something that is built once and forgotten. It must be governed throughout its complete life cycle. from development to testing to staging to production and eventually to retirement. Let us look at four important areas of model governance. The first area is model validation. It is about checking whether the model is fit for its intended purpose. This may include comparing one model against other, testing the model on separate validation, benchmarking its performance, and checking how the model behaves under different conditions. In simple terms, we are asking, is the model accurate enough or not? Is it stable enough or not? Is it suitable for the business use or not? And can we trust its output? The second area is model testing. It focuses on checking whether the model works correctly and safely before and after deployment. This includes unit testing, integration testing, regression testing, edge case testing, and boundary testing. AI systems, we also need to test how the model responds to unusual inputs, manipulated inputs. This is especially important because AI systems may behave differently when the input data changes or when attackers try to manipulate the system. The third area is XAI, which means organizations should be able to understand and explain how the AI model is producing its output. For example, why did the model approve one case and reject another? What factors influenced the model's decision? Can the output be explained to business users, auditors, regulators, or affected individuals? Tools and techniques like LIME, SHAP, these can help explain model decision, importance, support, audit trails, and create human-readable explanations. The fourth area is bias check. AI models must be tested for unfair or discriminatory outcomes. This may include checking whether the model treats different groups differently, whether certain demographics are affected, whether the model creates unfair outcomes. Organization can use fairness metrics, demographic parity, analysis, disparity, impact testing, mitigation technique, and resampling training data. The objective is to ensure that the AI system is not only technically accurate, but also fair and responsible. So the key message is model governance is not a one-time approval activity before deployment. It is an ongoing discipline across the entire AI model lifecycle. Organizations must continuously validate, test, explain, monitor, and improve their AI models to ensure they remain accurate, secure, fair, and trustworthy. Now let us look at another very important area, that is security and privacy control for AI systems. AI systems create a new attack surface. They use large volumes of data, complex models, APIs, cloud services, third-party components, and sometimes large language models. Because of this, traditional security controls alone may not be sufficient. Organizations need a layered approach that covers both AI security and AI privacy. Let us first look at the security side. Systems must be protected against adversarial attack, where attackers try to manipulate inputs to influence the model's output. Models must also be stored securely with a strong access control and least privilege access. Only authorized users should be able to access, modify, or deploy models. AI APIs should be protected like any other critical application interface. This includes authentication, authorization, rate limiting, input validation, logging, and monitoring. For LLM-based systems, prompt injection is a major concern. Attackers may try to manipulate prompts to bypass controls, extract sensitive information, or force the system to behave in unintended ways. The important area is supply chain security. Many AI systems depend on third-party models, libraries, datasets, APIs, cloud services. These components must be assessed and monitored properly because weakness in the supply chain can directly affect the AI system. To guide implementation, organization can refer to frameworks in standard like NIST Cybersecurity Framework 2.0, WASP LLM Top 10, and the key message is very much clear. AI security and privacy must be built into the system by design, not added later as an afterthought. A trustworthy AI system must be secure, privacy aware, monitored, and resilient against misuse and attacks. Now, beyond technical controls, responsible AI also needs a strong ethical and governance foundation. Technology alone cannot make AI trustworthy. Organizations need clear principles that guide how AI is designed, deployed, monitored, and used. There are four key principles that every organization should focus on. The first principle is fairness. AI systems should treat individuals fairly and should not create discrimination or unfair outcomes based on protected characteristics such as gender, age, religion, ethnicity, disability, or other sensitive attributes. The second principle is transparency. People should be able to understand when AI is being used and how AI-supported decisions are being made. This does not mean every user needs to understand the full technical algorithm, but the organization should be able to explain the purpose of the AI system, the type of data it uses, the logic behind its output, and the limitations of the system. This can be supported through AI tools, models, documentations, model cards, and clear communication with the stakeholders. The third principle is accountability. There must be clear ownership for AI systems and AI-driven decisions. If an AI system produces a harmful, incorrect, or unfair outcomes, organization should be able to answer important question. Who owns this AI system? Who approved it? Who monitors it? Who is responsible for resolving issues? Fourth principle is human oversight. For high impact or high risk AI decisions, humans must remain involved. AI should support decision making, but it should not remove human responsibility, especially in sensitive areas like finance, healthcare, employment, education, security, or legal decisions. Human oversight means having review gates, approval workflows, override options, and where necessary, kill switch control to stop or disable an AI system if it behaves incorrectly. So the key message is responsible AI is not only about building powerful models, it is about building AI systems that are fair, transparent, accountable, and subject to meaningful human oversight. These principles should not remain only in policy documents. They must be built into process, control, system design, audits, and day-to-day AI operations. Now, knowing what to do is one thing, but knowing how to start and how to move forward is equally important. Let me share a practical phased roadmap that organizations can follow for AI governance and risk management. You do not need to implement everything on day one. The better approach is to build the program step by step. Phase one is foundation. In this phase, the organization should start by creating an AI governance committee or assigning clear AI governance ownership. The next step is to identify where AI is already being used across the organization. This includes internal AI tools, third-party AI platform, AI-enabled applications, machine learning model, automation tools, and generative AI uses. Organizations should also define the AI risk appetite. In simple terms, this means deciding what level of AI risk is acceptable and what type of AI use case require stricter approval. Phase two is framework setup. In this phase, the organization should select and adopt a suitable governance framework. For example, it may use NIST AI RMF for practical AI risk management or ISO 42001 for building a formal AI management system. The organization should also create an AI risk taxonomy. This means defining categories of AI risk such as privacy risk, bias risk, security risk, legal risk, operational risk, and reputational risk. A proper AI risk register should also be implemented so that risk can be recorded, assigned, tracked, and reviewed. Training is also very important in this phase. Business teams, IT teams, security teams, legal teams, compliance team, and leadership should understand their roles in AI governance. Phase 3 is operational phase. Like this is where the governance program starts becoming part of daily operations. The organization should roll out its AI risk assessment process for new and existing AI systems. Model governance procedures should be implemented, including model validation, testing, monitoring, and bias check. Data governance controls should also be strengthened, including data quality, data lineage, privacy, consent, retention, and access control. Security and privacy controls should be applied across AI systems, especially for APIs, third-party AI component, LLM-based systems, and sensitive data pipelines. Phase 4 is optimize. At this stage, the organization should focus on measuring and improving the AI governance program. This can include KPI dashboard, risk metrics, control effectiveness, internal audits, assurance activities, and management reporting. Organization can also consider pursuing ISO 42001 certifications, especially if they want to demonstrate AI governance maturity to customers, regulators, investors, or business partners. The key message is AI governance does not need to start as a large and complex program. It can start with a clear foundation and mature gradually over time. Start with visibility, define ownership, adopt a framework, operationalize controls, then measure, audit, and improve continuously. That is how organizations can move from AI experimentation to secure, responsible, and trustworthy AI adoption. Now let us apply what we have discussed to a practical real-world scenario. We just take a scenario like a retail bank has deployed an AI model to automate loan approval decision. The model was trained using 5 years of historical customer and loan application data. It processes thousands of applications every day. Recently, during an internal audit, the audit team observed a potential bias issue. The model appears to be negatively impacting applicant from certain zip codes. Not a very realistic example because AI systems are often used to support decisions in banking, lending, credit scoring, fraud detection, customer onboarding, and risk assessment. Let us look at this scenario through 4 questions. Question number one is risk identification. What are the key risks in this case? For example, is there a fairness risk? Is there a compliance risk? Is there a reputational risk? Is there a business risk if customers are rejected? So try to map these risks to the AI risk domain we discussed earlier. Question number 2 is applying NIST AI RMF. Which of the 4 NIST AI RMF function is most critical right now? Is it govern? Is it map? Is it measure? Or is it manage? Because immediate remediation and monitoring are required. In this scenario, more than one function may apply, but think about which one should receive immediate priority. Question 3 is governance and control. What governance structure and controls should the bank apply? For example, should the AI risk committee review this case? Should the model be revalidated? Should bias testing be performed? Should there be human review for rejected applications? Also think about the responsible AI principles involved here: fairness, transparency, accountability, and human oversight. Question number 4 is like remediation roadmap. How should the bank address this issue over the next 90 days? What should be done immediately? What should be completed in the first 30 days? What should be improved by 60 days? And what controls should be implemented by 90 days to prevent the issue from recurring? Just think about this scenario and map the scenario's question with the RMF framework implementation and ISO 22000 components. Now let us summarize the key takeaway from the today's session. You can treat this as your AI risk management action checklist. First, AI risks are real and multidimensional. AI risk is not limited to technology only. It includes bias, privacy, security, accountability, legal, compliance, reputational, and business risk. Important point is that these risks should be managed proactively, not after something goes wrong. Second, use structured frameworks. Organizations do not need to start from zero. Frameworks like NIST AI RMF, ISO 22001 provides a structured and scalable approach for managing AI risk and building AI governance. NIST helps with practical risk management, while ISO 22001 helps build a formal AI management system. Third is governance starts at the top. AI governance cannot be handled only by technical team. This is very important to understand. It requires leadership commitment, clear accountability, defined roles, risk ownership, and an organizational culture that support ethical and responsible AI use. Fourth is data and model governance, which is the foundational one. Trustworthy AI depends on trustworthy data and well-governed models. That means organizations must focus on data quality, data lineage, privacy, access control, model validation, performance monitoring, and bias testing. Fifth is security and privacy, which are non-negotiable. AI systems introduces new attack surface and privacy risk. Security by design and privacy by design should be embedded throughout the AI lifecycle. Design to development to deployment, monitoring, and deterrent. Sixth is responsible AI creates business value. Fairness, transparency, accountability, and human oversight are not only compliance requirement, they help build trust with customers, regulators, employees, investors, and business partners. Responsible AI enables sustainable AI adoption. Seventh point is implement AI governance step by step. Do not try to do everything at once. Start with visibility and ownership. Create your AI inventory, define your risk appetite and policies. Yes, define your risk appetite and policies, adopt a framework, operationalize your controls, then monitor, audit, improve, and certify whatever is required. So the final message is simple. AI governance is not about stopping innovation. It is about enabling innovation in a secure, responsible, and trustworthy way. Organizations that manage AI risk well will be better prepared to adopt AI confidently, meet regulatory expectations, and build long-term stakeholder trust. Now, any discussion on AI governance today would be incomplete without talking about the EU AI Act. The EU AI Act is considered one of the world's first comprehensive regulations, which is focused specifically on artificial intelligence. It is important because it sets a clear direction for how AI systems should be developed, deployed, and governed, especially when they may impact individuals, business, or society. The first category is unacceptable risk. The second category is high risk. The third category is limited risk. And the fourth category is minimal risk. These are low impact AI systems such as spam filters or AI enabled games. For this system, the Act does not impose specific mandatory requirements, although responsible AI practices are still increased. Now, for high-risk AI systems, the EU AI Act expects organizations to implement strong governance and control measures. Now, let us look at one very practical tool used in AI governance, the AI Risk Register. The simple principle is this: you cannot manage what you do not track. An AI risk register helps organizations record, assign, monitor, and review AI-related risk in a structured way. So this is kind of AI risk register, this kind of template that we should maintain. Coming to AI ethics framework. Now, responsible AI governance requires more than policies, checklists, and technical controls. It also requires a strong AI ethics framework. This is important because ethics help organizations translate broad principles like fairness, transparency, accountability, and human oversight into practical action. In, in simple terms, an AI ethics framework helps answer questions like what type of AI use is acceptable, what type of AI use should be restricted, how do we ensure AI does not create unfair outcomes. So the very first dimension is ethics policy. The second dimension is ethics by design. The third dimension is ethics operations. Ethics must also be operationalized through repeatable process. This may include like ethics review, gates before deployment, escalation channel for concerns. The fourth dimension is ethics culture. A framework will not work unless people believe in it and follow it. Now, even with the strong governance, security controls, privacy control, and model validation, AI incidents can still happen. So the question is not only whether we can prevent every incident, the real question is how prepared are we to detect, respond, recover, and learn when an AI incident occurs. An effective AI incident management process usually follow 5 phases. The first phase is detect. The second phase is triage. The third phase is respond. Fourth is recover, and fifth is learn. Now, one useful question every organization should ask is how mature is our AI risk management today? And where do we want to be? This can be understood through a simple 5-level maturity model. Level 1 is initial, level 2 is developing. So for the initial one, AI usage is informal or ad hoc basis. There are no formal risk process and issues are handled only after incidents occur. For the level 2, that is developing, basic AI policies may exist. Level 3 is defined, AI risk processes are standardized, a risk register is maintained, and an AI governance committee is in place. Level 4 is managed. Level 5 is optimizing. Now let us briefly look at the technology ecosystem that can support AI risk management. AI governance cannot depend only on manual process. The right tool can help organizations scale, monitor, and report AI risk more effectively. So first are AI risk and compliance platform. Tools like IBM Open Pages, ServiceNow AI Governance, Matrix Stream, RSAM, and OneTrust can help maintain AI risk registers, automate workflows, track controls, and generate governance report. Second are model monitoring and observation tool. Tools such as Fiddler AI, YLab, Azure ML monitors, these all are used for this purpose. Third are fairness tools like Lime, IBM AI Fairness 360 that we can use for fairness purpose. Fourth are security and threat teaming tool, WASP LLM security toolkit, adversarial robustness toolbox. It helps test AI system for misuse, prompt injection, adversarial attack. Technology alone does not create AI governance, but the right tools make governance scalable, measurable, and sustainable. So we have already seen the global AI regulatory landscape. So these all are the landscape like European EU AI Act, United States NIST AI RMF. So in India, we have DPDP Act, which we had implemented in 2023. We have covered a lot today, so let me close with a clear action plan. Step 1, build your AI inventory. Identify where AI is already being used or developed across the organization or not. You cannot govern what you have not identified. Step 2 is assess your maturity. Review your current AI governance maturity against framework like NIST AI RMF and ISO 42001. Step 3 is define governance and ownership. Step 4, you have to prioritize your top AI risk. Step 5 is you have to engage the stakeholders. AI governance is not only an IT responsibility, it requires involvement from leadership, business teams, legal, compliance, privacy, security, and risk functions. Let me close with the key message of today's session, like enabling secure, responsible, and trustworthy AI adoption. That is the goal of AI governance. With the right frameworks, controls, ownership, and continuous improvement, organizations can adopt AI confidently and responsibly. Thank you. As we close today's session, the key message I would like to leave you with is this: AI governance is not about slowing down innovation, it is about enabling AI adoption with confidence, control, and trust. Organizations that build the right governance structure, risk management process, security controls, privacy, safeguards, and accountability model will be better prepared to use AI responsibly and effectively. Cyber SRC, our focus is to help organizations move toward secure, responsible, and trustworthy AI adoption. Thank you everyone for your time and active participation. For any further discussion or support, please feel free to connect with us through the contact details which which is visible on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your great insight. So, anyone is having any query? Okay, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.